across the floor. Footsteps echo, then no more. Cold hands reach where light won't stay, calling you to come and play. Dancing shadows spinning fast, fear and laughter, they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night, darkness sings but feels alive. Eyes that follow from the wall, silent voices start to call. Heartbeat racing with the drums. You can run, but still they come. Dancing shadows spinning fast, fear and laughter, they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night, darkness sings but feels alive. Eyes that follow from the wall, silent voices start to call. Heartbeat racing with the drums. You can run, but still they come.
Well,
Yes.
good evening, everybody.
Good
Welcome back
evening.
to another episode of Night Terrors and Other Tales.
Yes, we're back again. You know, Backstreet Boys, we're back again. You know, it's been a wee while since our last show. It's been
That's
a
like
wee
the
while. You know,
90s.
I know.
Yeah,
What
we
the
missed a
next?
week, but
You know.
I was kind of gone.
Aye. Yeah. Yes, you were. You were on a mission. You were away to the Big Apple, weren't you? How was the Big
Yes.
Apple for you? What was the experience traveling to the Big Apple like?
The trip there was great.
Yeah.
Amazing while I
Mm.
was there. But
Mm.
the way back, I had some challenges, but that's a
Yeah.
story for another day.
Yes. Tales. Tales of Sabrina's trip to the Big Apple coming out soon
Oh,
on
yes.
DVD.
It was awful. Anyways.
Yes, we've got a guest tonight, Sabrina. So we're looking forward to interviewing this charming chap, as one would say. I've had actually
Yeah,
I've talked to him a few times. He's a very interesting fellow.
he
So
is.
yes. But you've also got another show tonight too. You're on, is it Iron City Paranormal tonight? I have to give them a wee shout out to
I am, yes, doing that as well.
Yes, see, busy bumblebee. So, shall we
Yes.
meet?
So, some nights don't let you sleep, not because of fear, but because of the truths that you just can't seem to outrun. And tonight's guest knows what it's like to live with uncertainty in your body, your mind, and your world, and still choose to rise. So, I would like everybody to give a warm welcome to Dwayne Morton. He is a former international basketball player, but his most powerful victories never happened on the court. It actually happened after living 18 years with a misdiagnosed blood cancer and later becoming a bystander to a police shooting. So, Dwayne has faced a lot in his life, and there's really no training manual that can prepare you for the things that he's experienced, especially because it wasn't his choice. But he chose responsibility and to carry these things. So, without further ado, I'd like
Yes.
everybody to give a warm welcome to Dwayne
Hey, Dwayne.
as I unmute him.
Yes.
Hey guys, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can,
Yeah.
man.
Perfect. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to the listeners. I think just to start out and give them the ultimate gratitude, because I think time is the most valuable commodity that you could ever have. And so I just want to say thank you to the listeners. And then of course, thank you to you guys for having me on and inviting me on to share on your platform. So I just want to say that first.
Absolutely.
I would actually like to say thank you to Dwayne, because Dwayne I've actually met Dwayne a few times, and he actually helped me when I was like going through a kind of spiritual kind of like a new beginning, and he actually helped me unlock some stuff. So I would like to thank you for that.
Yeah, you're quite welcome.
Yeah.
You're very, very welcome.
That's amazing. So much love in this room right now.
Yes.
So, Dwayne, welcome to Night Terrors and Other Tales. We're genuinely honored to have you on. Um, so, would you mind just to share with everybody who's watching just a little bit about you and what it is that you do right now, so they know?
Yeah. So, like you said, I was a former international basketball player. So I love to just say that because that was my dream. There's so many people that never accomplished their dream. But through that, like it really helped me push through challenges and the challenges that we had talked about. But what I realized was once I realized I could be responsible and I could respond, I decided I wanted to coach. And really, I'm not a big fan of coach. I'm more a fan of a teach. And so to teach people the lessons that I learned and I overcame, and so I can facilitate it to those people. So I'm a resilience coach, an integrity coach. And then I
Yeah.
also am looking to coach business leaders because I think that's really important. I have a huge business acumen that really kind of responds well, but they're always looking for that little edge, and I feel like I can give them that little edge.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
As.
It takes a lot of guts to go out on your own, especially after having a full career
Hmm.
in something that's so much different. Um, So, actually, can you tell us a little bit about how your experience in basketball as a player kind of ties into what you're doing? Like, is it more about the discipline that you've learned through basketball, or?
So that's a great question. What I would say is, as a 4-year-old boy, I shot on 10-foot go. Like we didn't change the height of the go. I shot with a men's basketball, so I shot with a big basketball. And when you first start doing something, you're not good at it. And so what I did was I chose goals of the net. When I was playing in my grandpa's backyard, the net was red, white, and blue. And so I'd pick the color that I was going to hit. And then once I finally figured that out, then it was like looking, hit the rim and then keep hitting the rim. And then eventually the ball is going to go in. And so that's what
Yeah.
happened. That's actually skill. So really, I learned the skill of resilience as a
Yes.
4-year-old
Got it.
boy, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so the basketball journey was really interesting because I never was a star. I was mainly, I'll take that back. There was years where I would be really good, and there would be one
Mhm.
year where I'm not because we're playing against older people. So it was, once you got playing against your age, I was okay. But throughout, I was never the star. I was never the superstar of the team or anything like that. And I was just very fortunate that I was ready for the opportunity when the
Yeah.
opportunity came for me to play internationally. Like it was really like I didn't go through the front door. I didn't go through the back door. I kind of went through a side door.
Yeah.
And honestly, the way I like to tell people is I feel like God just created a side door and I was just sitting there and it just opened. And it was like, oh, wow, this is magical.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I can hear
Sorry.
noise. I can. I was. What's that?
I know.
I
I
felt
looked
like I was in a
confused
spaceship there.
because
I was looking around about me. I was like, it can't be me with all my flashy things. They don't
when
make
you hear
noises.
that sound, that is actually my screen cutting out and coming back in. I don't know why
Oh,
it's doing this. It
oh.
started when we literally just started
It,
recording for the podcast. This never happens. So,
see, it's weird because I kind of I'm taking it down this road, but I can feel quite an energy tonight. And I don't know if you can feel it too. I don't know if maybe it's maybe Dwayne's spiritual path because can you, that's actually a good side door. How did you get into this kind of spiritual path that you're on? Because this is something really interesting.
Yeah.
yes.
So the spiritual path opened up when I was 17 years old. My grandmother passed away, and it was the first time I dealt with death. And
Yes.
Mm,
so that's actually, I went on a mission trip to go play basketball, but like that door opened up and it was just a very unexpected. But what it did was allow me to sit with death and sit with something that I wasn't prepared for. But it was the first person that I was really extremely close that had passed
Yeah.
away. And what happened was I fell back in love with basketball because had freedom,
Yeah.
but also I was around it more. And then what I found out was there's a spiritual part to basketball for me.
Hmm.
And then the spiritual journey like really kicked up even more when I was diagnosed with a blood cancer. I realized that
Yes.
I could have a bigger impact with people just by keeping my personality rather than being grumpy, being sad, being angry, but just shed that light a little bit more in that part. And what I did was I saw that, and that made me even, it kind of inspired
Yeah.
me to do it more. So like,
Yeah.
when they say when you open the door to kindness, like it opens up the door to more
Yes.
kindness, definitely
Yeah.
did that.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then of course with, the shooting, that was
Yes.
very traumatic, and it also made me very, very, very. An NDE just changes things. Like even if it was a close call, mine was such a traumatic part, but really I felt like I failed as a protector. And so for me, my niece was in the back seat, and
Mm.
that was a struggle bus for me. Was I failed as an uncle, and then I had to sit with myself, and I had to really go inner. And that's where I did a lot of journaling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Um, Now, I mean, with such a close call with death, you would expect to have nightmares or some kind of side effect. So, what were yours while you were trying to kind of fight through this experience?
So I definitely had PTSD, and I definitely had survivor's guilt. Just to give y'all an idea, the night of after that happened, a water bottle. Sometimes when you press the water bottle and it'll pop out.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
water bottle popped on the table, and I immediately reacted and like ran into a wall, like
Wow.
face first.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Whoa, something's wrong. Like this isn't right."
Yeah.
And then the next day, my brother had mowed the yard, and he was hosing off the lawnmower. And when I started hearing that those water beads hit the lawnmower, I just
Mm.
dove in the ground. Like I thought someone was doing a drive-by.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
when I knew, okay, I need some help. And I'd already I knew that because I had been through therapy a little bit, like some talk therapy stuff.
No.
But truly, talk therapy just did not do anything. It actually agitated it more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I think with that, there's a lot of people that have a problem with talk therapy because they don't realize that the counselor is taking them through an experience that they're reliving in their office, and essentially they're putting them into a hypnotic state. Albeit it's a lighter hypnotic
Yeah.
state, but it's still allowing your body to react as if it's happening right in that moment. And so when you're experiencing that in the office and you leave, you're just taking it right back home with you. So it's not doing any good unless the ending of that session is like really giving you some solutions for how to control it. And that's not usually how it goes. You just
Yeah.
don't have enough time in that first session. So you dig into it, then you go home and you're still stuck in it.
Yeah, it was a very slow process. That was the other part. I was like, we kept talking about it. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, what am I supposed to come in here and talk about? Like that was the other part. Now I had a really good, successful talk therapy, actually 2 other times. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
I really was like, I just kind of want to get over this. And one night I was praying, and I was just like, I don't understand. Like, also, I was diagnosed in 2006. I was originally given 5 years, and then it kind of got bumped to more time, and that time actually kind of lapsed. And then it's like a year later, this shooting happened. And so I
Mm.
was just like very confused. Like, hold on, why
Mm.
am I even here at this point? So it just
Right.
opened up Pandora's box to a lot of other questions.
Yes.
And the thing that really, law of attraction when you're curious, I was
Yeah.
just like, what would happen if I was healthy? Like, how would I respond with this? Like, and then also there was a part with me being, not having financial flexibility. So it wasn't like I could go just get like the greatest lawyer. I could go do all these things. Like it wasn't that. It was like I had to hold on and try to find, uh, even in the, even in the part where I'm looking for somebody, I still was like, man, can I afford this? Like most people would have
Right.
just been like, hey, I don't want to talk to anybody. Let's just go with the attorney. I wasn't able
Right.
to do that, and that's what made me really start thinking and was like, "Man, if I would have had money, if I still like, how would this be?" And then one night I hit my head, and I always did this anyway, but I was just like, what would this be like if I was healthy? Like, what if tomorrow I woke up and I was healthy? And then literally about 6 to 9 months after, I remember having that like really big prayer that I used to pray all the time
Yeah.
for.
Mhm.
I found out I was misdiagnosed.
Wow. So essentially, you just found out that you were misdiagnosed and lived with this, what you thought was blood cancer, for 18 years.
Oh my God.
So, what does carrying that amount of uncertainty in your body for that long, what does that do to like how you trust yourself and the world around you?
So that's a great question. And I feel like the best way to answer that is tell you what the 24 hours before that, I ran 2 miles and I played basketball for 3.5 hours. The next day, I couldn't
Wow.
get up 3 flights of stairs. So it was complete polar opposites,
Yes.
like, right? And so it was at that point where it was like, okay, I'm a top athlete, and then I'm
Mhm.
literally have a handicap parking tag. Like, what, what did, and this is where you get into victim mindset. And I
Mhm.
did for a while.
Yeah.
Was why did this happen? What am I learning from it? How can I go on and like
Yeah.
be a productive person?
Mhm.
And it took pretty much everything away that I held on to, right?
Mhm.
Um, the the other aspect is I had to carry something that no one could tell me how to carry it. So it
Right.
wasn't like I could go get a book and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah." I mean, it's like I looked through grief stuff. I looked at some different things with the misdiagnosis, or I'm sorry, just when it was diagnosed,
Mhm.
I still didn't feel like it was a program for me. And that's really why when I built my program, I built it for me if I was at 29 when I first was diagnosed. Like, I just couldn't
Oh,
find
Yeah.
wow.
a program that made sense, that was like for an athlete. Like, I have self-discipline. I don't need to be told, "Hey, go walk 2 miles." Like, I couldn't walk 2 miles. I could barely walk to
Yeah.
get the groceries. So it's really interesting.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
at what point did you start to realize that kind of pushing through just wasn't the same as healing?
Yeah, so I would say 4 years, because they originally gave me 5, and this is kinda give you an idea. I went and just done bucket list stuff at the 4th year. I was like, "I got a year left. I
Yeah.
can't take this money with me." So I just I depleted all my savings, my 401k, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna do all bucket list stuff." Also,
Wow.
Sabrina and Chris, I wasn't dating. That was another thing, is
Yeah.
like, at 29, 30, you're thinking about like, hey, who would be your partner and those type of things. Like, I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't want
Right.
anybody to carry my burden. And so, I've never been married. I don't have any kids. So that puts me into a unicorn spot in that too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of different burdens that were faced. And then the people that I was around, they changed because I wasn't able to facilitate things for them.
Yes.
So there was a lot of things that were like going around that made it huge difference. But guess what? It made me stronger. It was like I was
Yeah.
that forge. I was that sword in the forge, and it was just a bloom process. And it just
Right.
had hardened me to be able to do what I do now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, but here's the thing: do you think that was what happened to you? Do you think that was maybe divinely orchestrated? How it was? How it's because let's face it now. You think of all the people that you're helping now with the problems in their lives. I mean, you've helped me, and we've only met a couple of times just to chat and stuff. And you honestly, you helped me that day. You really did. You've no idea how much you helped me. Um, but do you think it was maybe there was divine? Do you think there was divine intervention in that set you on your goal to where you're right now?
Yeah, I definitely believe it was divine
Yeah.
intervention. And also the other thing is like I believe everything's divine intervention. Like,
Yes.
if I'm driving and there's a red light, like I stop the car because if I
Mhm.
go straight, guess what? Gonna have a car accident.
Yes. Yeah.
So same
Yeah.
thing. The other thing is like I was told I was a great speaker at the age of 20, and
See.
it was
Wow.
like, dude, I'm a basketball player. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And right, I mean, so I'd spoken to some people before, and you'd be really surprised how many really good speakers have never spoke in front of an audience that big.
Yeah.
And so when I talk to speakers, they're like, dude, they're like, I can't believe you've already spoke in front of those people. And I was like, man, that was like my first or second speech. So that was
Yeah.
another part. The it's kind of this full circle moment. Like at 20, I could have found my talent that it was sitting there and it was showing me. That was the other thing. So again, it is divine intervention, but
Mhm.
also it is it's very empowering too. And
Yes.
that's another thing is just when you realize that like I had to go through all this, but look at all the people that I'm able to help.
Yes.
Also, when I was diagnosed, I would go to a hospital and like I wanted to make sure that I did not lose my personality. I'm from a
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
town. We're very polite, well mannered. So I would open the doors for everybody, be like, "How's your day?" And they're like, "Dude, we're in an oncologist office. What do you think? Like our day sucks." And I'll be like, "No, it could be worse. Like we could not be
Yeah.
here." I mean, so there was the other part of really embodying your spirituality, and I feel
Yeah.
like that's one thing that people saw for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with spirituality, there's so many different aspects to it, but you hear a lot of people who have had near-death experiences becoming spiritual after. So do you think that that was something that kind of pushed you into it? And was there anything unique about spirituality in general that you experienced?
Yeah. So it's a great question because this actually will show you like I was here spiritual, and after
Yeah.
the NDE, I went here. But also, I had to be open to the different types of spirituality. I grew up in a Bible Belt. Like
Mhm.
everything was pretty much white and black. Didn't understand the gray. I still don't really understand the science of a lot of the gray. I just know there's science of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Is that
No,
bothering
it's
you?
fine. That's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
So, um, the part is like my first confirmation of the misdiagnosis beside the doctor said it. I told my parents, my brother, and my sister-in-law. So there was 4 other people that knew about it. I was in a random Zoom and this guy tells me, "Hey, my guides are telling me to tell you you've been misdiagnosed." And I'm like,
Wow.
"What?" I'm
Yeah.
like, so that was my um,
Mhm.
first experience with someone who had those type of abilities. And then he told me, he said, "You saw a bright white light that day on the shooting." And I was like, I had never told anybody. That was the other thing. It wasn't on social media. There was no way this guy could have known. That was the other thing. So I knew that there was some evidence, and I had read about different things
Mhm.
about people having gifts, but I really
Mhm.
had never had that experience. And so what it did was it allowed me to know that like there's another level. There's another level. And like
Oh,
how do I get
yeah.
to that next level? And how do I also get myself prepared for people who are that type? Because I was in that unknown. And so for
Yeah.
me, I started applying things. Like I apply things without knowing all the how stuff.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny that you'd never had any experiences before with anybody that had any kind of psychic
Yeah.
abilities, and then here you are experiencing, like, all these new things in such a short period of
Yeah.
time. So how did you kind of reason with everything and bring yourself back to this kind of logical place that you're in? Because it's like, "Oh, I was open, I just accepted it." Like, not a lot
So
of people would do that.
so I'm an open-minded person, and
Mhm.
I believe in all possibility. So
Yes.
like if you told me, "Hey, like is it possible that monkeys can fly out of somebody's butt?" I'd be like, I mean, it's possible, but does it
Hey,
like
it could be.
is it right? But is it there could be a certain circumstance where that could happen. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I can't say yes or no. That's the other thing. So I've always when I was in psychology and philosophy classes,
Mhm.
I was that student where the philosophy professor was ready to kill me. Like he was ready to kill me because I was like, I can't choose. Like because I don't have evidence of just a hard concrete answer.
Yeah.
Why is the sky blue? I don't know what color. It's blue because somebody decided to designate it that. It could be any color
Yeah.
in the world. Like we could change the color of blue to pink and it's still, it's still that color. I don't know what that is. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm that type of person where if you get in a deep conversation, it's going to be fun, but it's also going to be kind of irritating because I won't just say no. It's this one way.
Well, geez, I think
And
Chris
so,
can relate to that one.
I'm like that. I'm going to admit that I'm exactly the same as you. I've been in conversations and I've done the exact same thing. At the end of the night, people are sitting there and they're looking at me and they're hitting their hands towards me because I'm pissed off.
right. So the other part of that is like I met the right type of people to prepare me for other people. I'll say that again. I met the right type of people to prepare me for the
Yes.
other type of people. So
Now
like
that's
that psychic
divine.
medium prepared me
Yeah.
for somebody else
Yes.
who taught me about astrology. Astrology taught
Yep.
me about something else, taught me human design. So I was layered with a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
then I'm just like, what can I take away?
Yeah.
What can I take away and learn from? And when
Yeah.
I did human design, I was like, this is pretty much me. Like I'm a hermit and then I'm also like a leader type. Like it makes complete sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing is every time I've just met people who allowed me to be open for the next person and be like, okay, like these things are. And so I feel like in my spiritual journey, there's a lot of growth and it was fast. It was quantum growth. And so I think that the part of this experience is you just never know who knows more than you. But what can you learn from that person and be able to apply it and not have to be like, okay, I think you're crazy, but like, does that make sense? Like, don't judge, take the information and take what you can. And if there's no useful information, just be like, okay, this one person, like that's their truth. And that's fine. It just doesn't line up with my truth. And that's fine. It's just to have different opinions on things. And I think that's where a lot of people miss the boat is like, they get where they're so set in their ways, they can't have a conversation with someone who has a different opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree with that. Well, I think not just that, but a lot of people that go through, we'll call it an indirect experience with trauma. Like they were just a witness to a shooting. They weren't directly hit. Like these are people that they go
Hold on a
home,
second.
they
Hold
don't
on a
think
second.
that they're
Hold on.
The joy of children, everyone.
yes, and family.
And family. I've got a border collie that's always barking, but every time I seem to be doing like a private reading, fun, my dog starts to bark for no apparent reason.
It's okay.
Everybody just focus on the flashy ball above my head. It's a lovely thing to look at.
And the
Sorry.
neon lights.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's okay. So,
It's fine.
I think that a lot of people who have experienced a traumatic situation differently, we're going to call it indirect trauma, because they themselves weren't maybe directly hit, but they were a witness to it. And so they go home and they don't feel like they have the right to feel like affected by that. You know what I mean? Because they weren't directly hit. So what would you say to somebody who is sitting there feeling guilty because they do feel affected by something that they weren't supposed to be harmed by or a witness of, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah. So I feel like guilt is just one of those things for you to like, it's a sticking point. It's to make you stuck. Like when you feel guilty, you're just like, okay. And then you feel that shame.
Yeah.
One of the things in these traumatic experiences is there's nothing you could do to change the outcome. But what you could do is take as much ownership of that situation to vindicate yourself. release yourself from that experience. So like for me, I could have went straight where the shooting happened, or I could have took a right turn to go to the Dairy Queen and get ice cream. That was the original go.
Yeah. Hmm.
I decided to go straight that day. Now, if I would have went right, we would have been safe. Same thing with people in that experience. Take control of what you can control. Everything else,
Yes.
you have to let it go. Feeling guilty
Mhm.
is because you didn't have certain experience. So for me, I felt guilty surviving because there was someone else who was a husband, father, had kids.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
had to let that part go because that wasn't mine to carry.
Right.
Same thing with
Yeah.
those people that are struggling with it. And then the fact that they feel guilty because they were a part of it and they were a bystander, it's kind of like they they need to understand that there was something that they could learn from that situation. They could learn something
Yeah.
from that situation of um,
Hmm.
that that trauma. And
Yeah.
once you realize that there was something that you can learn, then that's where you're like, okay, take that lesson and then
Yeah.
accept the fact that, hey, you had to learn that lesson that way.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, is there any kind of advice that you would give somebody as like a first step to start kind of accepting where they are?
The first step, I believe, is to take as much ownership as you can. And it's really the point of vindication. It's the part of self-release. It's the self-compassion part.
Hmm.
I feel like so many people miss the self-compassion part. You have to accept that this happened.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it happened because of your choice, because your decision, and most of
Hmm.
it isn't. And so that was I feel like that is the key door that most people miss is accept that part, but then also
Yeah.
accept to release yourself to have that self-compassion.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% there. Because
Same.
that's actually that's what happened when I first met you. You helped me release. Well, I was on the process of releasing the past, the things that was happening, but Sabrina's help too. And then you talked to me and told me what to do and stuff like that. And I'll tell you something new. It does. It changes you. It makes you feel so much better.
Yeah,
So much better.
I'm guiding you. That's the other part is I'm just guiding you and I'm telling you, hey,
Yes.
if I was in your situation, these is how you would get the results you're looking for. You can either take the advice or not take the advice. It's very
Yeah.
simple. That's the other part is when you're baking a cake, you don't and you look at the box,
Yes.
you're looking at the recipe, and if you follow the recipe, you get that result. If
Yeah.
you
Right.
decide to change the recipe, change the temperature, all those type of things, that's when you don't get the same product that everyone else does.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually a really good example of
That's
that.
a,
I like it.
yeah. That's actually really good. Can I actually? Where do you see yourself, we say, within the next 2, 3, 4 years from now? What do you see yourself doing? I have to ask.
Big things, man. Big
Yes.
things. I feel
Yeah.
like I'll be on stages
Yes.
and
No, I know you will
big
be.
big
Yep.
stages
Mhm.
because I feel like one of the things in the self-help community that they miss is most of the people in the self-help community usually have went through something by choice or a decision through them.
Yeah.
I have the receipts of I didn't cause any of this.
Right.
And then also the other part is there's no playbook for what I had happen. Either one.
Yeah.
Like I trust me, I looked.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
looking for answers and I would call people. So just to give you an idea, the first call I made was a friend who did 3 or 4 tours in Iraq. And I said, "Hey
Mhm.
man, how do you deal with being shot at?" And he's like, "Brother, I've never been shot at." And I was like, "Oh." It let me realize what kind of room I was in, how many people were in it, and then realize like, okay, I'm pretty much in a room of one and I have to choose how to respond. If I don't respond, then I have no one else to blame but me because I'm in a room by myself and
Yeah.
it sucks, but like
Mhm.
I need to figure out how to get out or figure out the best way to make this. When you're in the victim mentality, it happens to
Mhm.
you. And then
Yeah.
also some people say it happens for you. And then one of my mentors actually told me, no. It's like the secret sauce to all this is it happens through you.
Yes.
I'm able to facilitate the lessons where other people don't have to go through the lesson and just take the good stuff.
Hmm.
And that's also what inspires me to be able to get on here and get on these stages to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but you asked like what I saw in 2-3 years. I feel
Yeah.
like I'll have a couple of books that'll
Yes.
be really,
Hmm.
I'm not saying New York Times bestseller, but like that's the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is big things, the dream. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to just be, I don't want to be Dwayne Morton from a small town in this. No, I want to be like, hey, I want to be recognized as someone who's a true leader
Yeah.
and a leader of leaders. I want to be married. I don't know if I want to have kids at this point,
Oh,
but like I
lots of them.
definitely, I definitely want to be able to, I want to be able to live life and travel. That's
Yes.
the other part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, actually, this is a question that ties into high performance and those high performance kind of demanding environments that a lot of professional athletes and also business professionals are in. I feel like in this industry of high performance, it is viewed negatively to be vulnerable.
Hmm.
So, if vulnerability is seen as a weakness, how do you challenge the belief? Um, how do you challenge the belief with people that you work with?
Yeah. So one thing is I will tell you that there's different sides of the road for each person. So like
Mhm.
there's people who want to be vulnerable and there's people who don't. And guess what? We can both coexist. They can have their program where I feel like I'm being true to myself and I'm being true to the people that I help. The vulnerability part is where you learn self-compassion. If you don't learn self-compassion, it's very difficult for me to be able to help you
Yeah.
Hmm.
because you're not willing to help yourself.
Yes.
I
Right.
can't make you do the things that you need to do. Now, bro marketing has a whole different philosophy. They push self discipline down your throat. I make it a choice
Yeah.
because guess what? A choice is a decision, but also it's a commitment from you. And if it's a commitment from you, then I can hold you accountable to that decision. Hey, you want these results? This is the game plan. If you want these results, you have to follow this game plan.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
really don't want the results, you're wasting my time and your time, and you're wasting that idea. So, another take on laziness. Laziness
Yeah.
is just trying to figure out if the work is worth the result. I'll say it again. Laziness is just trying to figure out if the
Yeah.
work is worth the result. And I know for me being a high performer, I worked my ass off. I would shoot until my arm felt like it was about to fall off because
Yeah.
I wanted to leave everything out there. It's the same thing with everything I do. Like I go 100-mile an hour to the end of the day and I'm thankful for that day. So like I follow it with gratitude, but I also follow up, how do I make tomorrow better than today? I ask that question.
Yeah.
I'm curious. How can I make today better? I'm sorry. How can I make tomorrow better than this day that I just had?
Yeah.
I love that. That's very
That's true.
positive, and that's a great way to move forward with growth
Hmm.
in mind, like every single day. So, looking back, do you see your darkest moments as something that broke you or just something that shaped your purpose?
It definitely shaped my purpose, but it broke me to shape that purpose. So
Yeah.
I forgot what the Japanese pottery where they do it, the cracks with gold and they put the vase and the jar back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar to that. It's a very unique piece, right? It's a one
Mhm.
of
Hmm.
a kind. That's another part. Like I'm one of a kind. You're one of a kind. Everybody's one of a kind, but some of us have decided that we're going to inspire and empower people. It's just different from an ego standpoint too. It's just different. I'm not doing this to be on a spotlight and do all these
Yeah.
podcasts and like that was never my goal. But like when somebody asks for help or support, I'm the first person to raise my hand to be like, how can I help and support you through whatever you're going through?
Yeah.
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 Well, then I think it's only natural that you're helping people.
I think it's a very good thing that you're doing. Dwayne, I think you're doing a very courageous thing what you're doing, man, friend. I think in the years to come, you're going to look back in your life and you're going to go, "Wow, that was crazy." But I do think you're going to be learning new things too. I do believe that you're going to be. I do believe you're going to be doing what you're doing right now, but I also feel that you're going to veer off a little. But you're going to be doing something special. I do see that coming in for you. It's quite. I don't know. After the live, but I do see something special coming in for you. Very special in your
Yeah,
future.
I appreciate that. I mean, so
Mhm.
I see that too, but I'm also so intentionally present
Yes.
that like I'm not following. I'm not so focused on the outcome. Like I believe
Yeah.
the journey is really the destination. Like it's the
Yes.
secret thing that everybody doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
And they think that they have to get to the top of the mountain.
No.
Um, for me, I feel like I just want to get better at climbing the mountain. I
Yes.
don't have to get to that
Mhm.
peak. I just need to get better at climbing a mountain and being on the mountain.
Oh, I
Yes.
like that.
Mhm.
Well, we are actually out of
Uh,
time for today, but where can our listeners find your work, and what do you hope that people carry away from our conversation tonight?
I think the biggest thing that I want them to take away is to begin. I think is really the step one for everything. Is just choose. I'm going to begin. I'm going to take step one. I'm really big on getter and getting a plan, but
Mhm.
sometimes you don't have the ability to find a mentor.
yeah.
Plan something, because when you take that first step, you're going to be like, "This is strange." But if you have a plan, then you have something to implement.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
that I feel like that's one of the biggest takeaways is just to begin. Um, so to find me is DwayneMorton.com, and then show up to win with the number 2. And that's going to be where you're going to be able to join my community. Right now, there's a wait list. And the reason why is there's a rebrand that I'm looking to do. But I want to do some community coaching. And then through that, if people want to do stuff in more small groups or one-on-one, that was the best place to find me. And then, of course, I have my own podcast called Show Up to Win that has been out since May.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again,
Thank
Dwayne,
you.
for coming on and sharing your story. We so appreciate having you.
Yes. And
Yeah,
honestly,
thanks.
thank you so much, and thank you for helping me too, because you really did help me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for asking me to come on here and share
Mhm.
on y'all's platform. I appreciate that so much.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, and thank you, audience members, for being a part of our show tonight. We always appreciate you,
Yes.
and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
All right,
Bye
thanks.
for
Bye.
now.
Bye.
Whispers crawl across the floor. Footsteps echo, then no more. Cold hands reach where light won't stay, calling you to come and play. Dancing shadows spinning fast, fear and laughter they will clash. Beat of terror, pulse of night. Darkness sings, but fear